So my journey leading up to effortless living started 2 years ago. I was a bit of a personal development junkie, and for about 8 years, I went from seminar to seminar, from book to book, course to course, looking for the answers that would allow me to fulfill my life in a way that I really wanted to, i.e. have the money coming in, have the relationship that I really wanted, and to create the family that I really desired, to live in a beautiful place. So these kind of were my desires. And I went from seminar to seminar, and yet the more I looked out of every year that had gone by, the more money I had spent, and well, the results, I did gain, but I still wasn't getting the results that I truly wanted. So about 2 years ago, I was ready to pack it all up, actually. I was ready to pack up the business that I was running at that point. I was ready to leave the personal development world, and I was ready to I felt like I wanted to hide, just hide underneath the duvet, and that's kind of where I was at. And it wasn't until I came across this book called Clarity that everything changed for me. And it changed because by the end of the book, there had been no how-tos in the book at all. Like, no how-tos. How to get clarity. That's what I thought the book would be about. But there were no how-tos. And I was like, what do you mean there are no how-tos? I was completely prescriptive at that point. Like, if you've got a problem, here's how to solve it. But there were no how-tos in this book, and I got a bit frustrated with that idea that there were no how-tos to get clarity. And it wasn't until a couple of days later that I was in a seminar, and it suddenly hit me. And it was this huge insight, because I'd been feeling so insecure about finding the formula to create a successful business. And I realized we're all making it up as we go along. There are no formulas. You're only ever going to be guided by your own wisdom to know what's right for you in that given moment. And it was amazing, because there had been me searching and searching on the outside, and yet what I'd forgot to do was to listen on the inside. And so after that, more insights started coming for me. And the other big one I got was that each and every one of us is having an insight at any given moment. But that allows us to live an insightful journey for ourselves. So nobody's ever going to be living that same journey as you, because your journey is really an inside job, right? So we all have an insightful journey to follow, which is completely unique to us. Because my insight about X may come at a different time to someone else, but that raises my level of consciousness to take me into a different way of seeing things. But it won't happen at the same time necessarily, or I may not have the same insight as someone else. And I really got to see this not only at the seminar that I was at, but I was sitting in a field in Wales all that long ago. And we were just sitting there, and I suddenly realized, my God, if being is enough, then I must be enough. And so suddenly it was very clear to me that I didn't need to sit in a personal development seminar anymore to gain wisdom, because I could just gain wisdom just by sitting in a field being quiet. But what I needed to know was that even existed. What I needed to know is that we all have this incredible innate wisdom inside of us. Why is it called intuition? Insight. Otherwise it would be called outsight or out-tuition. But it's called intuition and insight, which would suggest that the answers aren't out there, that the answers actually come from deep within. So then it begs the question, right? Well, then what's the point of having a coach? I mean, if we're all so enlightened, what's the point? Well, I don't know about you, but we can often get caught up in our own heads. I mean, this happens to me as well. And so having somebody that can guide you to look in the right direction of how things are working can really be quite useful, because it can actually calm you down quite a bit. And at that point, you can start to sort of see things you may not have seen before. You may start to have glimpses of peace that that you've so been yearning for. Because here's the thing that I've started to see with my clients and human beings in general. We're not searching for money. We're not searching for fame. We're not searching for our relationships. We're searching for peace. We're searching for coming back home to who we truly are. And that doesn't happen by buying a big car or, having more impact on the world and making that sale, and because that isn't who you really are. And so if what we're really searching for is this inner peace and inner contentment, and it would suggest then that it's all coming from within. And so people still ask me, well, how do I get that? If I'm so busy, I don't have the time or the inclination to even get that quietness in my head. And I'd love to give you a formula. I'd love to give you the answers. Here are the steps to how to make it happen, but I can't. Because that would kind of defeat the whole understanding of this, because my journey has been very different to everybody else's. Their journey has been different to mine. Their journey will be different to theirs. Other people's. My journey is not the same as my clients'. As I said to you before, insight doesn't come in the same time. But what I can say is that it's how this works, like gravity, that it all comes from within. This is how it does work. But the minute we get caught up in thinking that somehow it works the other way around, that our job defines us, or that we can get the feelings of success from how many clients we have, or the feelings of success comes from the clients that we get, or the feelings of upset come from our partner, then we enter into the blame and shame game. Then we enter into a place of victimhood. But if we can truly see that those feelings don't come from anything external of us, we're free to be completely empowered, because we're no longer victim to the circumstances external to us.